beautiful soul, and welcome. This is Rochelle with the Healing Rose. So today I'm looking at my top 10 oracle decks for reading for other people. So not just the ones I personally love to use in my practice where I sit and I use the card as a jumping point for a meditation or for journaling or for any of that kind of stuff, or, you know, personal shadow work. These will be decks that I actually use with clients that come to me and they go, look, they're like, yep, I want an oracle reading. What do we have? And so let's just dive straight in. Okay. So one of the things that I do is I do angel numerology readings. And so with that, we need to find numbers. And so this deck, this is out of print, as far as I understand. This is by Meredith Young Sowers. It is Angelic Messenger cards. So it came in a box set, great big book, great big long cards, skinny little box. So the box was only about this wide because the cards slid in right beside the book. The box comes in that color. You can still find it. I've found copies of it pop up every once in a while in secondhand bookshops. Relatively inexpensive. It's not a high in demand. It has quite the system. So we have a challenge, a message, a spiritual opportunity, and an application for each card. So I received this back in 96, maybe 95, somewhere in the mid 90s. And the cards have held up great. I use them a lot just for like journaling and introspection and reading the angel messages. I never really use them. They're not the kind of cards you do predictive readings with, but I started doing angel numerology, and for that we just need numbers. And so it's really easy to just get a set of 3 numbers or 4 numbers or 5 numbers to sit and get a more in-depth reading with, right? And then reducing those numbers down and reading not just the keywords with it, but also looking at the numerology and what the reduced numbers are giving us. And so I think that's actually been a really fun way to work with this deck. So it's all these beautiful floral close-ups, images, beautiful photographs of all these different wonderful floral energies. And so this has been a really fabulous deck for reading just with the angel numbers, right? So the other deck that I am using with angel numbers, and this is the one that I take out of the house because the other one is out of print. I do have a second copy, but I prefer to leave it at home, to be quite honest. The Archangel Michael's Sword of Light Oracle by Radleigh Valentine. And I quite love this. I've hardly used the book at all because the cards are really solid. And mostly I'm just getting a number, right? But when we look at it, we have a number, we have a title, and then it gives us a little message with it. And so I think people have been really enjoying when I'm doing the numerology messages that I am putting the cards out for them so they can look at them while I'm doing the breakdown of the numbers and doing all the reductions. So they have a little message to look at and they can kind of contemplate what the message is there. And then we start to break down and look at the numbers. And so that gives, so we kind of get a couple of layers with reading like this. And the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. It's bright and it's beautiful, and it just makes me think of those cathedral stained glass windows, like the light coming through the color. They're just really, really kind of lovely. And they have a great feeling to them, and you can really read with it straight out of the box. If you want more information about a card, or you're kind of like, oh, that didn't quite resonate, you can pop them open and look at what it has to say about that and get the kind of expanded message. But really, it's pretty much like straight out of the box, away you go. So I kind of like that about it, you know, and it does give, we do have a couple of different readings in here that we can do, a couple different spreads, but pretty much the entire thing's just, I just use it for angel numbers. So right off the bat, that's, you know, that's pretty easy and out of the way. All right, so the other type of readings that I do are these soul coaching oracle readings. And for that, almost without fail, the clients that get these readings tend to pick this, like 90% of the time they pick this deck. And I think it's because they're familiar with it. They're familiar with Denise's work. And it's a beautiful deck to work with. So her decks are very specifically designed to work with her, pardon me, with her method. So we have a title, we have a phrase at the bottom, and then we have whatever symbolism is coming through within the image, whatever that image sparks for people, right, when they look at it. So it really is quite lovely. The colors are beautiful. The back is gorgeous. All around, this is a great, straight out of the box, you can start reading with this deck. When you go into the messages, they're not a lot. There's a card meeting, and then what the Sacred Traveler wants you to know about whatever that message is. So you can expand upon it and get more information, but it's not necessarily needed. You can get a lot of information working with the cards using her method. So all right, that would be deck number 3. Okay, so if I look at relationship readings, I tend to use tarot for that a lot, but there is one oracle deck that I do really like to use, and it is out of print. It is the Heart of Faerie Oracle, and I don't take it out of the house for readings anymore. And I very specifically use it for just looking at the energy between two people, right? So it's like, I just met this person yesterday, and I don't know, I think there was something there, but I'm not sure. And it's like, what kind of energy is between us? And then for that will be, you know, I will draw 3 cards. And so, yeah, you know, maybe it's not going to be like the greatest experience, especially with the Lady of Sorrows right there. But there is also some nudity in this deck, so it's not for everybody. But the fairies are absolutely adorable, and I love that unlike the first fairy deck, this font is actually legible. The other one is so artistically, don't get me wrong, it's lovely. But I like that there's a bit more vibrancy in this deck, because the other deck does tend to be very much more brown, very more earth toned. I do really, really love, I love the imagery. I love all that's going on in here. There's so much. There's so many layers in this, and I know it's out of print, so it's almost like not fair to show it, but it's one of those ones that it's out of print, but it's not highly coveted, so it is still quite affordable when copies of it come up, like, because a lot of people don't actually like to read with it. I really do. I find it's really effective. A lot of people really prefer the original Faerie Oracle. So there's that, right? I really like that deck for that kind of a reading. Okay, so let's go over here. So the Elemental Empath Oracle. So this is an independent deck by Miyuki Rose. You can purchase through Rose Soul Art on Etsy. I did back this on Kickstarter. It comes with the most massive guidebook I think I've ever seen in a soft cover. And the print is tiny, so there is so much information. There is between 5 to 8 pages worth of information for each card. And there's, I think, 52 or 56 cards. I would have to look, but there's a fair amount, right? So it's gilded, and it's been very well shuffled. So my gilding is coming off, which I don't care if that it was gilded. To be honest, I would have been happy if it wasn't. I would have just colored the sides myself. So there are 5 suits, 1 for each element, plus a spiritual element. And then each card has a title to it, and then it has little phrases. So you actually can just start using it just by reading with the keywords and phrases on the bottom. It's an absolutely gorgeous, divine, feminine, just really elemental. It's got so much energy. Like, I love this play of light through everything. It's absolutely wonderful. It's been fabulous. I wasn't quite sure when, like, I ordered it because I thought it was a brilliant idea. I like the concept. I liked the concept of the art that I saw. And then when I got it, I was like, okay, so how am I going to use this? And actually, it's a really fabulous card for reading. It's just really lovely. So it's actually been giving really good readings since I started using it just as a reader. And like, you know, I want to do like a Celtic cross with it. I can totally do a full 10, 11 card reading with it and get a lot of really good information without having to go back to the guidebook. But if you want to go to the guidebook, you absolutely can. So, and then you can get so much more because it talks about the concept that's there. It talks about potential blocks. It talks about the exercise you can do to work with that energy. Gives you so much information. All right. So what are we at? That was for 5. That's 5 decks. Okay. Let's go with this one. So this is a great one to read with. When I first got it, I was kind of just doing 1 card pulls, and I guess that's just while I was learning to work with it, or I wasn't sure, you know, energy-wise, like what was happening there with the deck. I wanted to kind of feel into the energy of it for a while. Absolutely beautiful, stunning. Then I started exploring through Lent. I decided I wanted to work with my with the Mary Magdalene oracles and contemplate more into that energy. And I found this spread in here, the anchor spread for your personal path, and really, really loved it. And it's hard to actually lay it out on this little table with cards this size, but it has been, since I started using it more in spreads instead of just going, okay, so what energy am I working with now? Let's see what kind of answer comes up. What's my card today, right? Free reign, break loose. Then it's like, okay, well, maybe let's pull it 2 more cards. What can I do with this energy, right? How can we focus in on that versus actually using this spread that's in here? Like, the information has been really fabulous. It's been such a solid reader, and I couldn't not include a Magdalene Oracle because it's become part of my weekly practice, where I spend 1 day a week just working with the different Magdalene decks and being really contemplative and, you know, asking different kinds of questions with it. So, all right, let's take a look. What's next? Okay, so straight out of the box, the Spirit Animal Oracle. So it's Colette Baron-Reid. I'm sure most people are really familiar with this. It is gorgeous. Look at these little critters. They're so cute. I love the artwork. I love the colors. I love how vibrant it is. And it's nice because we have a little phrase at the bottom of each card. So instead of just being cat spirit, like what they did with the Crystal Oracle, it's like malachite. Okay, what about it? If they'd included a little key phrase at the bottom with that Crystal Oracle, I tell you, that would have been such a great reader instead of having to like memorize the entire thing out of the guidebook. to be able to work with it or always have to go back to the guidebook. So this is really nice. I was just doing like 3-card spreads with it, but now I found that doing more expanded spreads with this actually has been really fun. And since I got the pocket oracle, because I mean this is my reading table, right? So it's actually pretty small. It's hard to get a lot of cards in with a little pocket oracle. I can do like really large expanded spreads with it, and I really love that. So I've been using that a lot lately. A lot. All right, let's go. Okay. The second edition Practical Magic Inner Witch Oracle by Grounded by the Moon. I really love this. It's a sweet little reader. I tend to use it for 3-card spreads, maybe 4 cards. I think a couple times I've used it for 5-card spreads. But it's a nice for like sort of quick little answers. It's a very nice, stiff, solid cardstock. So it has a really nice shuffle to it, a really nice spring back. It's wonderful. So this is the new moon version. So it's got this really lovely like rainbow obsidian kind of lovely gilding to it. So this is all little symbols and little iconic moments from the Practical Magic movie. The rosemary, the lavender, the tea, the tiger's eye that she loses, belladonna, spilling the salt, the amethyst, the lilac, our lovely scene from the movie. So it's just really, really sweet. And I mean, I had to have it, but it gives cute, adorable little readings. The book is really lovely. And of course it's hand stitched. So, and in the book we have the card with its keyword, but then we get a second keyword, and then we get a little affirmation as well as a bit of expanded information on that. So it is really fabulous. Definitely go to the creator to purchase, because every other copy I've seen has been like half the price, but it comes with a PDF, and you want the book. The book is fabulous, and you want to support the artist, of course, right? The creator, because otherwise they can't keep creating wonderful things for us. And then you're just giving your money to thieves, which is like, who wants to do that, right? So it comes in 2 versions. There is the new moon, and there is the full moon. So the full moon has the gorgeous bright gilding, which of course goes with all the lovely gold leaf with it as well. And so this is a copy I haven't used. I've only taken it out because I'm so in love with my new moon version. So there's that. Okay, whoops, stay there. Don't go nowhere. Okay, so this is probably my most popular. I've used this for the most oracle readings that I've ever done in my life have been with this deck. I haven't even had it that long. It does give a lovely springy shuffle because, of course, it is that really nice matte Hay House cardstock that they had a couple years ago. Right, so this is the Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. Had to dig for the box. It doesn't live in the box. So I have, of course, edged my copy. This artwork by Danielle Knoll is gorgeous. Can't say enough about it. I love the colors that she uses. I love the crispness of it. I love her art style. I'm just a massive fan. So the whole thing is fabulous. It gives excellent readings, and honestly, it gave great readings straight out of the box. Like, I did still go and look for more information and go back to the book when I first got it, but honestly, people have really resonated and really loved the readings that they've received with this. So like, if I'm out at a fair reading, this will be the oracle that I take, just because it's, for me now, it's really, really easy to read with. I mean, it basically was from day one, but this is one that that super resonates with people. So it is, you know, and I know it's not everybody's style, but straight out of the box, you can give solid readings to people, like right from day one. So what are we at? That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more deck. Okay, one more deck. And you know what that's going to be? There's also going to be one of these Rebecca Campbell decks, and that's going to be the Starseed. Because honestly, it's one that, again, straight out of the box, easy to read with. And it gives a solid reading. And I do really like to use that Cosmic Cross that the spread is in the Work Your Light. It's an affordable deck. It's mass market, so I'm not really worried about anything happening to it. I haven't edged this one because I tend to use Work Your Light more. But this gives a great reading. So if you really are into Starseed and you love this kind of a color palette, this is a fabulous deck to have. Again, we've got the phrase or the title, and then we've got little phrases or questions that it asks, little keywords. So you don't necessarily need to slog your way through a guidebook right off the bat, like you do with a lot of the Oracle decks. They're like, they'll give you a couple things, but then it's not really enough, and you really need to go back and look and see what's happening there. This one has been straight out of the box. And I'm not necessarily a Rebecca Campbell fan, per se. I wouldn't necessarily say that about myself because I don't resonate with a lot of the things she teaches, but her first 2 Oracle decks are such solid readers. And I'm trying to wrap my brain around the Rose Oracle, still not 100% resonating, but it's there. We're working on it. I'm giving it a fair go. I'm giving it a chance, right? So these are the decks that realistically, if I'm reading for another person, somebody's paying me for a reading, I want to give them a good solid reading. I want to be comfortable with it. I want to feel confident with the deck. It needs to be something that, you know, has been under my belt for a while. It needs to be something where it gives me a lot intuitively to work with. And so these are the ones that I come back to over and over and over again. So, you know, with the exception of the 2 out of print, I think all of the rest of these are very easy to source affordably. I mean, these 2 are a little bit pricier, but I would say if there's something in either one of these that really strongly pulls you, well worth it to save up. And I think like Etsy, for the most part now, for most of its purchases over a certain amount, has that option where you can do like a 4-pay on it. So it actually makes it even easier to get some of these kind of, what would we call them, luxury oracles, luxury items, right? So I hope you've enjoyed that little look into the way that I am kind of working my Oracle practice. These are the ones that I use on the business side of my Oracle practice. For my personal side, I have my personal favorites, and a lot of these aren't on my favorite list, but these are the ones that are like, these are the ones that I make money with reading with, right? So these are the ones that people come back again and again, and I have repeat clients for readings, and they get readings with these decks when they want their Oracle readings. So I hope that that has given you a little bit of ideas and insights for ones that are just easy to read with. And, you know, honestly, if you just have one Oracle deck and it's one that you've been working with for 5 years and you know it inside and out, there's no reason you can't use that in the same way, right? These are just the ones where I like to have a good variety, and for myself, often I get bored if I'm seeing the same deck over and over and over again for days. So the artwork has to really sing out to me. It has to capture my attention so I don't feel dulled by staring at something after a certain amount of time, where I feel like I need to change decks because I can't look at it for another minute. these ones, for the most part, they've treated me really, really, really well. So if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, I would love if you could give it a little thumbs up. That would be amazing. If you feel called to, subscribe, and then you will get to visit more of my little walkthroughs and musings in the world of tarot and oracle. If you're interested in a reading, you can hit me up through my website. I will never DM you, so just putting that out there. I feel so flattered now that there's actually been some fake accounts pretending to be me, trying to scam people for readings, and I'm like, really? Oh, I must have made it as a reader now, because now there's scam accounts. Great. But just so you know, I only book now through my website, so there is that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing week, and take care.